Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the I Like Birds podcast. I'm your host, Zach Rippey. And I have to say, I'm under a tree recording. I feel like y'all know what the kind of vibe that brings when I say that and I let you know the location of the podcast. You can always tell when I'm under a tree based on the episode not having a number in the front of it. I try to do that just so people know that, we didn't write this one. This is off the cuff. This is off the heart. This is just reflecting and just talking to Jesus in a moment of silence at the first opportunity that you have to in a little while, and just filling you guys in on just what's been going through my mind and sharing you guys what's going on in life in general. And I feel like, it's crazy when something big happens and you're just like excited because, I haven't even got to share it on the pod yet. The pod is my baby. You guys know that. Me and Olivia have been talking about that today, especially that it's just special to us, man. We really, really care about this thing, man. We really so into it. We really put a lot of effort and energy and thought into it. We really want it to just be all glorifying to God. Pardon me if you hear that loud jet above us, but that's the ambiance that you're going to get. You're going to sometimes hear a plane out here or some birds chirping, but I got the phone on Do Not Disturb. Life is going incredibly well, and that's something that, man, I have so many things that I was thinking about that I should have wrote notes about what I wanted to talk about, but we're just going to off the cuff it from the heart, one take Drake it. The thing is, man, we stop giving credit for God, I feel like, in this culture. We stop giving God the glory when things happen that were so significant, so big in our lives. We decided to give ourselves credit. And Olivier talks about on his podcast today the temperature of the body of Christ. And I do feel as if in our Christianity culture that we've kind of been accustomed to in America is we give ourselves a lot of the credit for our successes. And maybe we don't think we do, but with the power of social media, it's easy to see what people truly care about. And I'm not saying everybody needs to put on for Jesus full time like I do. I'm not saying that has to be the thing. That's me, and I'm able to do that. I feel comfortable doing that. I want to be a voice for Jesus. I want to be out there, out in the open, transparent about what the walk looks like and have people grow in their faith at the same time as I grow in mine. But, you see these wins in people's lives. You see these accomplishments. You see these beautiful things happen to them. And you don't see anything about God. It ain't in the caption, I guess you could say. And not to just talk about social media, but just talk about our own hearts here. Like what's behind our words that we're saying and that who are we giving the glory to when something good happens? It's kind of what I'm alluding to here. We stop giving God credit for the things in our lives that are just incredible, awesome, amazing. And you know what it's done? It's desensitized us from blessings, and it's made us entitled for those blessings, and it made us expectant of those good things to come, from everything, And this is where trials and tribulations are so important and impactful, because it truly builds you up, and it gives you, as Olivia said today, it gives you the endurance. It gives you I listen to a powerful pod, man, and it gets me fired up because it's like, that's my boy, It gives you the endurance to withstand life and just get you closer to God and build you up and transform you. And you guys, if you guys have been following along with this podcast over this last season, you know that we were in a battle, my wife and I, to have this baby. Whether it be having the baby, so many factors, right? Whether it be having the baby in our home, the way we were, dreaming of and wanting to be out of the RV into our own spot, that was a big thing. And granted, that didn't happen, and that didn't happen. And I fought for it to happen. But you know what? I fought for what my wife was fighting for the whole time. I was fighting to get us into a house. She was dealing with a different battle. She was, we had two battles, and my battle was get us in the house before Zeke comes and deal with all of that and everything it entails. Write the checks, show up, work hard to make sure those checks that you write in aren't going to put you under, and I was dealing with all that, the financial hardship. I was talking to you guys about that season I was going through, where your boy was getting no speeches. It was dry. It was cold out. And it's crazy because in that cold season, in that dry spell, your boy wrote the book. I wrote 21 Days in Africa in the middle of a storm, guys, in the middle of a drought and a hunger for, like, what are you doing to my life, God? Like, I've been putting on for you for 2 years, and there is nonstop waking up and feeling this burden, this weight, this stress on us to getting into that house. And so that was my battle, guys. And my wife's battle, which I was sharing with her in her battle, so I'm over here just like feeling the effects of it. And I'm honestly not handling it well, because I'm like, bro, I'm going through my own battle right now. You can't be going through this battle right now. Like, that's bringing us both down, So we've had a real test of marriage in this season, and which is a beautiful thing, because we've sustained it. We're surviving it. We're coming out on the other side. My wife is on bed rest right now. And I'm taking care of the kids, and I sucked at taking care of the kids the first day and a half maybe of it, because it was new, it was an adjustment. And now your boy, like, I'm grooving, I'm good, I'm Gucci. She could stay in bed for another 2 weeks and I'd be fine, So I'm just super excited to share this stuff with you guys, because I feel like y'all are so engaged with the show. Y'all shown so much support and love, so much prayers for everything that we're just going through and battling, and just and being able to have Zeke come this past Saturday, y'all. We had so I didn't even allude to the whole storm that she was going through, but I mentioned a couple times on the previous episodes that she's been battling her platelets being low, in an unhealthy low realm to have a baby. Basically, to explain it to you like this, if they drop too low, she has to go to the hospital, because she'd be what would considered, I don't know if it's extremely high risk or just high risk. I don't know the spectrum, but she would have to go to the hospital, which is not something she wanted to do in her birth plan by any means. If you've ever been to a hospital, you can catch my drift. But she wanted a beautiful home birth experience, all natural, midwives, the whole thing, like good vibe. And I see why, because so anyway, she's going through that battle, and then we get cleared 4 days before, I think it was like 4 to 7 days before Zeke actually came through, that she can have the birth at home. And she was going through so many appointments, guys, so many credit card swipes, or debit card swipes. Not to say we're putting it on credit, but you get the gist. We're not getting into debt. Don't worry, guys. We treat the credit card like a debit card, all right? And I highly recommend you do the same, because it'll change your life and the way you spend money. All right, here we go. Let's keep going. Having fun with it. You know what I mean? This is a podcast after all. Let's get some jokes in there for Jesus, right? Woo! So I'm feeling good out here, guys. I got the birds. I got the birds. I got some time. Malachi and Ezekiel are taking a nap right now. Noah just made a friend in the neighborhood while we were on a walk. He's been kicking it with them. I'll share that with you guys at the end of this part right here. I don't want to get too off track, but long story short, guys, we were battling this huge thing about having this baby at home, and there was just so much Catherine's health, what's going to happen, and then if we had to go to the hospital, we would have to pay an abundance of money as well, out of pocket, because we are already paying the midwifery program and stuff like that. So it was just a lot of money coming out, stressful. Your boy wasn't bringing in much. We were basically dipping in to the savings, and that's not something you want to do every month of your life. Can I get an amen? All right, somebody feels me on that one. So, love you guys. I love that I could be real with y'all. Oh, man. So, Saturday's the day it happened, man. That's when baby Zeke arrived. It was a beautiful, beautiful moment, guys. He was due the 24th, and he came the 26th. I'm not a huge fan of the number, but it's okay. The day was special nevertheless. Catherine started having contractions at like 6 in the morning. She went back to sleep, felt them even more intense around 8, 9 o'clock. We kind of got downstairs. She started kind of jumping on the ball. Started like bouncing on the ball, like the pregnancy balls that you're supposed to, this is a good episode so far. Pregnancy balls you're supposed to have when you're trying to get the baby out, right? Oh, man. You hear the bird? My buddy Rob Ross always says squirrel from that movie, because he gets sidetracked like I get sidetracked sometimes. So yeah, on the ball, we move into the room, into my mother-in-law's room. That's where we had to have the baby because, like I said, we're still at the RV. So we went to the house that's a lot nicer than an RV, and we're in the room, and it's just a good cozy vibe. We got the essential oils going. We have Christmas lights up. We got some water. We got some ice. We got some just cozy vibes going, we got the tub getting ready to get filled up. I'm filling up the tub, I'm just like, what do you need me to do? I'm trying to be hands-on, trying to be there for my wife during this experience. I haven't always been the best during that. I could always improve. Dudes listening, you could always improve how you are with your wife when she goes through labor. All right. That's something we can continue to improve on. And we should really want that for ourselves. We should really be intentional about that, about being the best, hands and feet of Jesus we can be in that moment. And we might have our moments of just, not being, being fleshly, I should say, and not wanting to do certain things, but go the extra mile, rub on her shoulders, rub on her leg, hold her hand, pray with her. And that's the thing, guys, this is the most beautiful part, is that there was so much, that's the thing that made this whole experience so beautiful, is because there was the Holy Spirit was there in the room. We were praying and we felt that connection to Jesus like never before, because we know that he answered our biggest prayer of all, which is having this baby in home and making sure mom and baby are both healthy. When you're going through it's weird, man. It's cringy. You don't want to say you're having a medical issue, or you don't want to say that you're high risk or anything, because it's like, she's high risk in the eyes of who? Man. But in my eyes, it's like with faith in God, I knew everything was going to be good, but it's just almost like the fear of what you're hearing and the fear of what you might have to do and your plan Bs that you're making, when really it's like, no, man, I have faith. I just want to put my plan in plan A and let it focus on that. But sometimes that plan B creeps in, and that plan C creeps in, and you just start thinking about all these things that aren't what you want and what the desires of your heart are, and it worked out exactly the way it was supposed to work out, y'all. We were praying, the Holy Spirit was moving. Catherine was emotional, and she's not a very emotional girl, for the most part. I mean, she is, but she is. It's weird. It's almost like she's good at brushing things off and just not letting things bother her, that most people would let that bother them. You know what I mean? She just holds it together way better than most human beings. She's just a rock. You know what I mean? She's just I got this. But it's crazy because she was getting emotional, during the labor, during the bouncing of the ball and the contractions come in between the contractions, because it's she was getting the birth that she wanted, and she was feeling that goodness and that other side of the testimony, that other side of the storm, really, that, oh man, you walked through a battle, but you were keeping that faith strong, doing the things that you needed to do with taking supplements, getting sleep, driving to these appointments, doing the vitamin C supplements, or vitamin C infusions, which that means getting a needle in your arm. And the Rippey family don't rock with anybody putting a needle in our arm. I don't care what number you put on a CNN television screen. Your boy ain't putting no needle through my veins for you, so you can pay me a certain amount of money so I can come to my job, so you can give me permission to fly to Bermuda. I don't think so, Jack. Oh man, you having fun? Enjoying the story? All right, cool. Yeah, man. So I'm trying to stay on topic here, because I could go sideways about a storytelling thing yet again. But where was I? And yeah, man, we got in the tub. I was there. I didn't want to do this thing that I signed up for. My flesh didn't want to do what I signed up for. Catherine asked me when she was filling out her paperwork and stuff for her birth plan, they asked, who will catch your baby? And so she asked me, she said, hey, do you want to catch Zeke? And then I was like, what? No, ew, gross. No, absolutely not. Because I don't like medical experiences. I don't like stuff like that. I could never be a nurse. Shout out my nurse friends on here that listen. I could never be a doctor. I don't think I got no doctor listeners up in here. Hey, if you're a doctor, send me an email. That'd be really funny. ZachRippey@yahoo.com. if you want to go ahead and do that, or hit me up on the Instagram DMs, ZachRippy23. Oh man, I forgot I was even going with that. The joke really threw me off and made me laugh and enjoy it, and kind of think about something else about giving out my information a little bit more, because we have so many listeners that I'm not sure. So many listeners, that sounds so... I just shared with you guys recently that 400 people listened in 1 week, and I was kind of like, oh, I don't think I know 400 people personally that actually listen to this show, so it has to be some, people that stumbled on it, or got sent it to a friend, or heard about it through the grapevine. I don't know. So it's pretty cool that people listen, and I just want to give my information out for people to reach me and whatnot. But anyway, back to the catching of Zeke. So I signed up for it. It's like one of those things where sometimes just say yes to the things you're not comfortable with, and most of the time, it'll be a special experience, especially like with God on your side. Like, oh my gosh, Zeke came out thinking. Catherine gave I think it was like 3 or 4 good, like, oh, she's feeling this one, like sounds, like emotion. I don't know, how would you even describe the experiences? Like, her experiences were like, she was crushing it. She was doing a great job. She had a couple times of like, oh my God, this sucks so bad. But other than that, just beasted it, no epidural, no anything, just mom getting in the tub, let's go. And so I'm super proud of her, man. I can go on all day about that, but I caught Zeke. It was a beautiful experience. Malachi was in the room, brought him up, held him up. Malachi was just like, Zeke, and was just excited, but also like quiet, and just kind of like the experience was just like, he was really taking it in. You could tell, he could tell something was going down, and that was a really cool thing to just witness, and having family there to be able to help out. Catherine's mom really being there and being just in her own home, being so, it was so nice. It was so nice, the home birth experience. And I see why Catherine fought so hard to get it. I see why she was so prayerfully wanting it to be this way, because me, I give up. I give up when things get hard sometimes. I'll admit that. I'll say that straight up. If I put my mind to something, like, I knew I was going to do well at stand-up if I put my mind to it. I knew I was going to be able to figure out a way to make money doing that. I don't want to keep going down that rabbit hole, but I basically knew that if I put my mind to something, I can do it. I had this self-belief that is only growing with God. So yeah, what I'm getting at here is I give up. I really do. When things get tough sometimes, I just throw in the towel. I'm like, all right, let's go to the hospital. It's like, if we're having to fight and do all this stuff to have the home birth, let's just go to the hospital. People saying we can't do it, let's just go to the hospital. Because for me, it's not my birth. I'm happy when the baby comes. That's kind of my... As a dad, I feel like that's kind of your doing. Like, you're supportive, and then your joy is like seeing that baby. And like you don't care where it is. You just want to see that baby. But for moms, like what they're going through, and the things that they have, like, envisioned for their experience, for doing something like that, pushing a baby out, oh my gosh. And man, when he came, we just felt such a goodness, and just the spirit, man. The Holy Spirit was so moving, of just feeling the blessing on the other side. And it was crazy because me and my wife were just waiting for something to happen, as far as we were just battling for so long. It's almost like, all right, you're ready to see a missile, when you're in the battle. You're ready to see, all right, what's next? We're ready to see a peace flag. I don't know what the best way to describe this analogy, folks, but we were excited, man. It was a beautiful thing. It was one to really just sit in and enjoy. And also, like, it was crazy because worship music was on, and that was a whole different experience, being that this was my first baby since really, like, being touched by the Lord, a couple years ago, back in May. You guys know the testimony of that. And just getting back to feeling that, man, that just the word of God through the music and the praise and the worship for his goodness. And having Leah there, her main midwife was just praying, like, constantly, bringing the Lord to the front of the birth experience. And oh my gosh, I needed that. I didn't really know Leah and Hannah, the two midwives, very well, because I wasn't intentional about going to the appointments and stuff. I heard about them a lot through Catherine's stories and stuff, and how awesome of people they were. But to, like, really see firsthand how how much they loved my wife and how much they really wanted her to have that experience and how much they loved the Lord was, man, there's nothing better than that, guys. We were truly blessed in that experience, guys. And it's crazy. We went through all that storm, but the blessing is so much bigger because of that storm, going through those trials and having that endurance to get through it and keeping the faith there and being able to be on the other side of it and just have another stinking testimony, another testimony of the Lord's goodness to share, another opportunity to be a voice box for his goodness. It's not every episode I have to have a whole bunch of scripture for you guys to be impacted by the love of God. It's funny because when I first started, I was getting nerdy on the word and I was really in it and I was falling in love with it and I finished it. I finished the New Testament. I didn't finish Old Testament yet. Don't hold me to that. I'm still working on that. I'll keep you posted on it. But now, and I've read through the New Testament multiple times, as far as being in different books and I've had that season of like deep in the word, and I'm going to get that back, ladies and gentlemen. Don't you forget about it, because we're getting another one of those seasons soon. All right. I'm telling you, once settled, once, we're grooving, on the land, I'm telling you, I cannot wait to have that time back to be able to go in. But while the worship music was on, I did want to show some love because this was something special that happened. I know a lot of people that listen to the show love my dog Armani. They were friends with him. They know him. They know about him through the show. They love hearing about him through the ministry because he's a big part of it. He was then, and he is now, and he'll continue to be. So the song that Catherine had her own worship music on, so it wasn't my worship, and it wasn't like a random playlist. It was one that Catherine made, which is interesting because she's not a music buff like I am. I'm nerdy. I'm nerd about music. Even worship. I got my own playlist. I got certain things I like. I have a little vibe to it. And maybe she does too, and I just don't know it. She's not as open or expressive about like her love for music as I am. She loves her some worship and stuff like that, but I know who sings it. Anyway, that's not the point. The point is, sorry guys, I go off on these little trails sometimes. The point is, during the labor experience, right, like it was kind of like I think 20 minutes, maybe 15, 20 minutes into her being in the tub. And me realizing like, things are about moving, things are about to happen. And just being able to really sit there after multiple prayer and just, just talking to, honestly, no phone, in the experience, being there for somebody, touching them, emotionally, like helping, it's very, very, it's very spiritual, guys. It really is. And it's very... you and God, you and the people you love in front of you, you're very present, I should say, as well. And I was just able to be talking to Jesus through it, and just being able to give prayer in my own thoughts, in my own whispers of the reality that was happening right in front of me. And wow, God, you're really about to do this? Like, we're really about to have this baby here? Like, we've been fighting for? Like, this is really happening? Because we just found out, like I said, 4 to 7 days beforehand, and we haven't really wrapped our mind around it because at that time we did, but at the same time it was just like, it's like foot off the gas almost, like cruising a little bit, and we haven't really fully reached our destination or really wrapped our mind around the whole thing yet. So in that moment, we were wrapping our mind around like what we just been through and like the fact that God came through in the fourth quarter, baby. 2 minutes left in the ball game. Tom Brady, God, the Tom Brady of coming through. You know what I mean? So I might have said that backwards, but that's okay. You guys catch my drift. Let me take some water before I finish this story. Out here looking at the ducks on the pond. Got a homegirl Birdie, my little Great Pyrenees, under this little tow trailer, just chilling under the shade. Which is cool because my father-in-law parked this tow trailer like here. It was like 2 months ago, and it's been one of the most awesome things to have like right in front of our house because Malachi loves to play on it and the dogs love to like sleep under it. So the vibe ain't too bad out here. I can complain all I want about an RV, but I miss it. I've been out of it for a week now, being inside the house because baby here and stuff like that. And I'm not gonna lie, guys, I like my spot. I have it good here, my little outdoor spot on the RV. So life ain't all bad. We just been fighting to get into the house before Zeke comes, but the house ain't fully ready yet, almost there. But have to say, the Lord's still been good to me throughout all this. And anyway, so during the worship, a song came on that was actually the song that Catherine found, and it was our song in the season of Armani being in the ICU. And it just, he was in there, I don't even know the amount of days, but it felt like forever. Not forever, but it felt like, a good chunk of time. It felt like a big season of life, as far as just waiting, in the waiting game of is he going to pull through? Is the miracle going to happen? That was the hard part of him passing, was that. The praying deep on your knees for him to pull through, had to pause it there. Had some emotions that just didn't really want to have all over the mic, you know what I'm saying? But yeah, man, it was just very special to have the song come on, and just made me feel like Armani was with me. That's the one worship song that connects me to him through that season, at least, and being able to feel like it was just God giving me a little nudge, man. It was him giving me a little nudge of yo, I don't really know even my beliefs on this yet. It's not as far as I do know my beliefs on it, but it's just I don't have doctrine to back it up here. So don't fact check me on this if anybody's, a Bible scholar. But I don't know, man. I just feel like, I know Armani's vibing with Jesus right now, that's my belief. I know he's there vibing with him, and it's if he knows how to connect with me too, through Jesus, I don't know if I think it's, in my belief, it's Jesus showing me, giving me signs that yo, he's got me, and Armani's here too, you're good. And that's what it is. Maybe I didn't know how to explain it. So I didn't really know how to, back up my beliefs as far as, what do I think of eternal life? I think Armani's there, man. Let's talk about that, man. What do I think about eternal life? And it's like I just said, I don't know if there's a whole bunch of, scripture or doctrine to back this up, because I haven't fully studied it the way I want to yet. I see it in scripture, but at the same time, can you fully know eternal life? Can you fully know all that it entails, based on, Paul talking about raising up the new bodies, and then Jesus talking about what's going to happen there and stuff like that in Revelation and all that. And we have information about it, but we don't know too much. We know only what our human understanding can know, and some of us not even that, we know 30%, if that. There's always so much to know, always more revelation to come. But I don't know, man. I think Armani's up there just vibing with Jesus, man, because Jesus was one of us, once we, at the end of the day, we're going to all realize that, and that's what makes him so special, is that he was human, and he's the best dude to ever do it. But he was funny, but he was, clever, he was wise, he had bars, I love some good bars, if you hit me with some words that are right, you changed my day. I'm a words of affirmation kind of guy. I do a podcast, I write books, I like words, baby, I like the Bible, I like birds, baby, so I was pretty clean right there. I have to clip that part up. But yeah, man. So I just know Armani's up there, and he throws gems, bro. And I see little butterflies. I've been thinking about Monty, obviously birds, but me and Kelly had this thing about butterflies, where we kind of talked to each other during this little time period of feeling yo, Armani's still with us. You know what I mean? And the spirit world is real. I'm telling you, it's the Holy Spirit. The Spirit is more than just demonic spirit, Holy Spirit. It's I don't know, I feel the presence of God, but I also feel the presence of Monty, if that makes sense, and I don't know how to explain that, but it's just real, and people always say, I grew up hearing this, that, when somebody dies, sometimes they feel with you still, and I feel that way, and he's the only person I've ever felt that with, and experienced that with, and that's because I feel like we were just so close, and being able to have him in your heart is a real thing, guys, and that's why it's we have to focus on our spiritual side and our faith side a lot more than we do as a society and as a culture, as humans, and part of the book I'm writing is so much about humanity is so desperate for a savior still to this day. And I really experienced that in Africa, guys, and I really want you to read the book. Please, please, please buy it. It's so good. It's so good. Please sponsor it if you can. I was telling you guys about it on the last episode. 50, $100, $200, whatever you can afford. Shoot, just whatever. No donation is too small or too big, because we're going to use that money and we're going to use it to get it in the hands of people, because it's good and it's going to be life-changing for people. I'm telling you, it was life-changing for me experiencing it. It's going to be life-changing writing it. It was life-changing writing it. Oh my gosh, I wrote it in a storm. I wrote it while in Africa, while back from Africa. Oh my gosh, so many things going on in life during the midst of what I was just talking to you guys about, in the middle of the battles. And it's going to do something for somebody, man. I'm reading through it right now. I'm editing it, a million times. I'm spending hours with it, and I just love it. I love the fact that the stories in it, man, are just like, dang, man, you really experienced that in 21 days? Yeah, Jack, in 21 days, this happened. My eyes were open. I was there, like, spiritually. I was there for the gospel. The question I asked myself before my flesh didn't want to go to Africa. That's one of the subheadings, one of the subchapters in the book. My flesh didn't want to go. I wanted to do the house stuff. I wanted to figure out my finances. I wanted to, figure out a way to get my speeches back. I was figuring out a way to make sure we could have the baby. There were so many things going on. I didn't want to go. And then I had to ask myself this question. I said, this was also in the midst of Omicron variant going around in Africa, and the fear was in the world again. And there was, bombings in Africa. There was all this stuff happening. And I had to ask myself the question. Are you willing to die for the gospel? What you think? How far are you willing to go for the glory of God? How far are you willing to go to be a soul winner? How far are you willing to go to tell people about the dude that saved you? The dude that gave you hope, gave you a future, gave you faith, gave you all the fruits of goodness, all the blessings, all the revelations, all the wisdom, all the pickups when you're down. How are you not going to go give that to somebody? How are you not going to give that to humanity? How are you not going to go to a place that nobody would ever go? 99% of the people won't go. Are you the 1% that's going to go? So that book, man, this book represents that. And I'm going to be bold here. I want 1,000 copies. I want 1,000 copies moved. I don't have myself a deadline, but I want at least 1,000 copies moved. If we get 100 moved in the first few months, we get 500 after about 6 months, and we get 1,000, within the first year and a half. Guys, you know what that does? That tells me I can write a second book. That tells me I can write a second book to be better than the first book. That tells me people want the second book. That tells me that I can send that book to other bigger publishers that will actually put it out there. And if I can sell 1,000 copies on my own, a publisher is going to pick that up, because they know that you can sell 1,000 copies on your own. Oh, I can sell 10,000 for you. And make a little bit of money for myself at the same time, because I'm a business, and that's what publishing is. So I'm super pumped about the book, guys. Like, no joke. I wrote it in a storm. I put my heart and soul into that thing. I've edited it so many nights of my life. I've sent it off to different people to edit and get it back, and I didn't like their edits, so I erased their edits in some parts. I'm like, that ain't me. I ain't doing that. I would never say that. Why would you say that? And it's a beautiful thing, man, to just really make something your baby too. Like the pod's my baby, but this book is my baby too. When Catherine was working on her baby in the womb, baby Zeke, your boy's working on this book. And I want to give that to you guys. I want that to be something that you hold on to with pride, because you were kind of a part of it. You were hearing the journey. You were supporting the GoFundMe, guys, ladies and gentlemen, the GoFundMe. We raised enough money. Man, I should probably add that to the book. How did I not even think about that until just now? What a dum-dum. Oh, I'm sorry, guys. I didn't think about that till now, but the book's not out yet, so we have time to add it. But yeah, that'd be a great part about the acknowledgement page, about the fact that, y'all paid for my trip when I was broke. When I was making no money. So it was a huge blessing of you guys, and I haven't seen some of y'all in so many months because I've just been on the road and doing all this other stuff, and I haven't connected with people face to face in so long in the midst of 2 years of lockdown and all that crap. It's crazy. It's mad crazy that the support is so real out there to send me out there, and you guys are gonna have a book in hand to show like, yo, without my bread, this dude might not have changed these people's lives. You know what I mean? Like, how crazy is that? Without my $20, he might not have been able to ride out. I don't know. I think it's cool. It's a small piece of the story, and I'm gonna add it to the book tonight. So I'll probably have that in a little acknowledgement section in the back. So be on the lookout for that. That's a great idea. I'm so glad I just thought about that before I actually sent everything off. I'm a few weeks out from sending it out and getting it all squared away and everything, but I got the cover back. Oh, friend, why are you so shy? Oh my gosh, I hope that didn't blow out your speakers, but wow, the book is beautiful. Beautiful. It is so fire. Oh my gosh. Yo, when you see this cover drop this weekend, I'm about to drop the cover, and that's how we're going to, put out the hey, if you want to be a sponsor of this book, come donate to the I Like Birds ministry, because your money is going to pay for everything that the book involves, as far as not just what we've already paid for out of our own pocket with editing and manuscript formatting and the cover and all that stuff, but it's also going to pay for publishing, as far as like getting some books sent to the house, getting some books sent to podcast stations or podcasters or radio stations, as well as churches, as well as I'm really thinking prisons. I don't know, man. I have something big on my heart about prisons. Every time I talk about sending the book places. So sending it to those 3 locations at first. And I'm talking like I just want to send them. I don't want to I want to have the bread to do that, and that's what your donation money is contributing to, is me being able to do stuff like that in hopes of it reaching the one, and that's who the book is dedicated to. Don't want to give it away too much, but it's dedicated to the one. Ministering to the one in front of you is the subheading, guys. Or the subtitle. That's the subheadings in the book are so powerful. Sanctification is a process. The introduction of Juliet and Elijah, like fire subheadings in the book. Like, man, I can't wait. I actually printed it out. I wish I had it on me, but I don't have it right here, right now. I should know it all based on. My flesh didn't want to go to Africa. That's one of my favorite ones because it's just so real. Because people, you got to hear that. They got to hear that. Yo, your body doesn't want to do these things. Your mind, your heart, you just want to chill. You don't want to get on a plane and be crammed up in coach and go to Africa. And I got super funny stories about the plane rides on there. I got super funny, not funny story, super crazy story about this guy at the lobby at the hotel that we had to crash at in Doha. Literally said, if you're vaxxed, you can go to the lobby and the spa, but if you're not vaxxed, you can't. Literally said that, as he's wearing like 2 gloves, 2 masks, and no joke, safety goggles and like a robe, like basically like a lab coat, like at the airport at a hotel. So segregation is back, baby. I got to experience that. Get to talk about that on there. Got real. You already know the deal. Got super real on there. Talking about that truth. When the world don't want to hear that truth or don't want you to see that truth. That truth is in the book. So Amazon might ban the kid, but hey, that's all right, baby. We're going to be on Barnes & Noble too. If Barnes & Noble bans me, we're going to be on ilikebirdsministry.com, because you guys are going to sponsor the book, and we're going to get a bunch of income to be able to buy a bunch of books for the cribbo, because we got the new cribbo coming, lots of cabinet space in the laundry room, so I have a place to actually put the books now when they come in, because God's timing is perfect, so I'm super excited about it, guys. I'm going to obviously be talking about it nonstop this year, because I've been kind of quiet, not quiet about it at all, because you guys knew the deal. But I've been a little bit less like telling you guys about like what's in it, just because I was in the middle of writing it. You never know what's actually going to stay in until you're done editing. So editing is the writing process, which is so crazy, and I'm truly learning that in this season, which has been awesome, because it really shows that I'm growing as a writer as well. So super pumped about that. Let me share this story with you guys because this just happened today. Noah met a friend on our walk today because like I said, Catherine's on bed rest, been hanging out with the kids. He met a friend. I met a friend for him. The kid, I could tell the kid was trying to hang out with Noah. Noah was being a weirdo and like driving his bike back home and like even put his bike in the garage. Like, and he never does that. He always leaves it in the driveway, right? And I'm like, why are you being shy? So I told him, I was all right. So I talked to the kid on the way home in the stroller, and I invited the kid to come play soccer, right? Because he had a soccer shirt on. Pay attention to details, people. He had a soccer shirt on, so I asked him, hey, you like soccer? And Noah likes soccer. Let's get it. So I made Noah go get the soccer goal. I set it up out front. The kid came back, and he had his little water bottle and stuff, and he goes, I'm homeschooled. I like math. You know, it wasn't like that nerdy, but it was also kind of like that. That was like his opener, you know, like I like math. Sweet kid though, his name's Luke. And then Noah wanted to go to Luke's house. So I was like, all right, cool, yeah, help yourself. And then Malachi wanted to go see Noah at Luke's house because he's never seen Noah actually like go play with a friend and stuff in this little season that we've been in at the in-laws' house, right? And so I walked Malachi over there. Next thing you know, I'm talking to the mom for like 35 minutes about God, about life, about teaching, about podcasts we like, about what we're doing with the house, baby Zeke, ministry stuff. Like, legit, we went back and forth and really found out about each other. We had a great conversation. Like, it was phenomenal. I really enjoyed her. She's a real one. She's a prepper. She has a garden. She was working on her garden. Paint a little picture for you. She had like a big pile of mulch, and then she waved and told me her name, and then I just walked up with Malachi, and next thing you know, we're just kicking it, just vibing out, talking about the Lord's goodness, about everything that's been going on, and she was sharing her testimonies, and oh my gosh, great opportunity to just talk with her, and she even gave me an opportunity potentially to come teach at this school one day a week, writing courses. And I'm like, what? Like, she's like, yeah, I'd have to talk to, somebody that's, I think, a board of directors of the school. But I have a meeting with him next week, and I'll let you know what he says, if he has any openings for it and whatnot. I was like, all right, bet. And I was telling her how, like, I want God to open the doors for me. I don't ever want to open the doors myself. And in this last season, especially because I've really just seen that he is my provider, which, by the way, your boy got 5 orders yesterday. Oh, my gosh. 5 orders. And that's a huge blessing, you know. So I've been busy writing some speeches and doing that as well when, you know, Malachi naps and stuff like that. So this is my first opportunity to come do the podcast because Noah's actually playing with his friend right now that he just made. And he didn't even come home for lunch. That's how you know boys are having fun, when they don't come home for lunch, especially my boys. Some ducks just flew by. Green face. Anyway, man, I love recording out here. I'm going to miss that. That's one thing I'm going to miss, but I'm going to definitely be doing that more so at my own spot. Like, you guys wait. I'm telling you, things are going to be so beautiful. It's the same thing with Zeke. You know, once the house comes, guys, you're going to hear so much joy coming out of me. And that's the thing. It's like, it's contagious. It's infectious. You know, it's going to inspire people to, like, you know, lean in to God and lean into Christ and focus on him and giving him that glory, back to kind of what we were talking about in the beginning, giving to God credit for every single thing in your life, guys. And because he's the creator of all things, the world was created through him. He's responsible for every blessing. He's in control. He is the hand of God. Everything that involves your life and involves him in a way. Like my buddy Olivier said on his newest Sowing the Seed podcast today, he said that he meant to say this. He didn't say it, but he meant to say this, that God is the author of your life. You know, Olivier said God's the main character of your life, and I agree with that too, because, you know, that's who's important. That's who we do this life for. Like, we don't do this life for the physical us. We're just a part of doing, like, we're a part of God's kingdom. That's what the gospel is about. Like, that's what happens when you accept Christ. You're a part of his kingdom now. And like, are you doing your part? Are we doing our part? Can God use us more? Are we available for God to use us? Are we the 1%? How far are you willing to go for the gospel? And I also recently got an opportunity to, I haven't shared this with you guys yet, so much to share with you guys, so much is happening. I got an opportunity to teach. I can decide how many weeks, but basically a class about God, Bible, discipleship, whatever I want. I get to decide. I have the reins with Crazy 8 Ministries to teach a class. So I'm setting it up for September so far. I may move it up a little earlier, depending on if I get settled quickly enough at the new spot and feeling in a good place. But I think that's what the message is going to be about. It's going to be about how far are you willing to go. My buddy Jeff DeWeerd inspired it the other night when we were talking about that part about not wanting to, because I forgot to add that part to the book about, I literally had to ask myself the question, are you willing to die for the gospel? In a way that was very like, ooh. Because I was about to give up. Back to my point earlier, I was about to give up on Africa too. You know, I give up. I'm like, yeah, let's just go to the hospital. You know, oh, let's just hire somebody to fix that. Oh, let's just, you know, I need to stop doing that. Because when I don't do that and I actually go through with it, you know, when I catch baby Zeke and I say yes to go to Africa, God just does amazing and incredible things and opens your spiritual eyes in a way you could never do so yourself, you know. And oh my gosh, it's just all glory to God, man. So I got the opportunity to teach, and I want to do a teaching on something along those lines. At least that's what God's put on my heart in this season. Who knows? This is in September, so I may change it up. But if you're in Texas, I'd love for you to come out to that. I'm doing it on a Saturday, so people have off from work, hopefully. And that could change. I could change the date to something that might be, you know, like a weekday night or something like that. I don't know. I just felt like Saturday would be cool. So, and it's my first time doing anything like that, you know. So it's all very new experience to me, and I hope I just do really well. And then I also got the opportunity to be a vendor at an event that Crazy 8 Ministries is putting on at Burleson High School. So I'm going to go out there with a little table, have some podcast cards out, and hopefully the book's out by then. It's May 21st, so I'm not 100% sure because I'm thinking the book for June or something like that. But maybe I can have some copies first. I don't know. Let's see. Nah, the second I get copies, like, I'm dropping it. Like, without a doubt. Like, that day. Like, it's out. Go get it. You know? No big rollout. But speaking of rollout, you'll see my little post about sponsoring the book. If you want to do that, you can get your name in the book, your business in the book, big font, all that stuff. And also, I did say I'll include a signed copy of the book. If you do the $100 one, or if you do a $200 one, I'll send you 2 signed copies. What's good? One for you and your lady. All right? Or you and your hubby. Or you and a friend. How nice is that? You give your friend a copy of a signed book. Hey, wait, you know this guy? What you mean? You know, hey, what's good? What's up? And of course, you know, shoot me an email if you want a signed copy, and maybe let me know if you want it personalized, or if you just want like, I don't know, maybe the personalized would have to be ones that are ordered. I don't know how I'd be able to communicate that. You'll just get a signed copy, just like with my name on it. Like, you know, I don't think I could do personalized. Maybe I could. I don't know. Don't fact check me on that. I'm not sure. I got to figure that one out. That one was kind of talked about on live on air. I haven't really hashed out that detail yet. So sorry guys, but I definitely want to get some books signed, and leave that as an option, especially for the sponsors and supporters of the show and the book and the ministry and the GoFundMe and everything that we've done over the shirts over this last season. The support means the world. Seriously, it's incredible, and just seeing messages just all the time come in about, you know, just the show and just like checking in. Like, so many people showed so much love about Zeke being born, and I was like, oh my gosh, I forgot so many people, you know, show love, you know. And it was awesome because I could tell a lot of people knew the story too from listening to the pod. So that was really cool to experience that. So thank you guys for everybody showing love and just praying for the whole thing to go the way it did. It just means the world to me. And I think we're getting a little long-winded on this. Don't want to keep you guys too much of your day. So I appreciate you guys listening to this and just hearing everything that's been happening in life. I know there's so much more to share, especially in regards to the book and just the goodness of God and what he's just been doing, even in the storms. So I hope this encourages you today. I'm certainly encouraged by you listening. And I did mention Olivier's podcast. Go check it out, man. Sowing the Seed. It's really good. It's awesome because I went on a walk with the boys today. And because I've been so waking up and being dad mode, breakfast, taking care of Catherine, you know, doing some heavy lifting stuff that I'm not used to doing, throughout the day, it's been really encouraging to start my day with a walk and the Jesus podcast because, and I don't have very many of those I like, to be honest. Like, I have some I like, but I haven't really like fallen for any of them except, Tony Evans one I really like. And I go through just seasons of listening to different ones, to be honest, like anyone else. I'm sure you have seasons where you listen to this show a lot more than you listen to other pods and, vice versa. But having his pod to turn on to this morning was really like refreshing and a breath of fresh air, especially because, we're so close, and just being able to hear somebody that I know personally relate to Yeah, so please go check out that podcast if you haven't yet. Super solid, really good stuff. And it's just spring now, man. It's just beautiful out. Hope you guys are having a good week of life. And you're just really putting God first and giving him the glory for all the things in your life happening that are the good things. And if you're in a battle right now, man, let this encourage you, man. Please, let this encourage you, because I truly needed that encouragement when I was going through battles. And luckily I had people in my corner helping me through it, keeping my faith strong, and having that fellowship and that the body of Christ just kind of lift me up when I wasn't lifting myself up. And just, really just sustaining me through prayer and through just good words and faith and encouragement, man. So be there for your brothers and sisters, man. Highly encourage you to do that as well. Keep being there for me. I appreciate it. I need you guys. Y'all are like, for real, the ministry. So when I say one-man ministry, let's not get it twisted and think that, I don't think that we need to do things together. No, I'm really honing in on my relationship with God and just being a voice for that and just helping other people along the way as well. So your ministry is going to look different than my ministry. And that's the most beautiful thing about it, man, is that we can all be used for the kingdom of God in unique ways. We all have different spiritual gifts. Mine is writing and sometimes communicating and joking and being a light and fun and a vibe. Sometimes it's me being grumpy and then repenting, That's a lot of what my walk is, and that's a lot of what my ministry is just kind of a lot of acknowledging where I go wrong. I think that's something that a lot of people struggle with in our society, in our world, in our culture, is admitting where they go wrong. I think, cancel culture has gotten out of hand, obviously, but that's more like entertainment and stuff. But I'm talking personally, where are you falling short at? And what do you need to improve on, and how can you improve on it? A lot of the times it's acknowledgement. They always say like, I don't know what the expression is that they always say, but basically like acknowledgement is like the first step. Acknowledging you have a problem is the first step. I think that's it. And that's not just for like alcoholism. That's for anything. Anything that you do wrong or that you fall short of, there's an opportunity to improve on it. And especially, if you're a believer in God, there's an opportunity for him to deliver you from that and build you up and transform you to be more like Christ in that thing that you're struggling with, that you're still like man in, so you're still like Adam in, whether that be your patience, your anger, your lack of forgiveness, your heart, your words that are not nice, your attitude, your negativity, your pessimism, your need for complaining, your arrogance, your jealousy, your envious energy, your lust for women, for life, for money, your hunger for fame, your desire for things that are not of God. Your drinking, your habits, your flesh, your gluttony. There's so many things that we as humans just do naturally, dude. Like, your boy just eats snacks just because. Like, I'm not even hungry and I'm just like, I want a snack. Like, what is that? Why am I like that? You know what I mean? And why do I not think before I eat? Why do I not think before I speak? Like, why do I do these things? And that's getting to the bottom of why we need a savior, why humanity needs a savior. That's a big part of the book, guys. I even share with you guys some really vulnerable stuff about some eating habits. Eating habits, I don't think that's the right word that I used there, but just kind of like not loving God with all your body, and kind of talking about like, you can still move from that. Even sexual sins, that's a huge one in our culture right now. Sexuality on minors and kids, and thinking the Disney stuff going on right now with them being woke and acting like that Florida bill is something to really gripe about, when really it's like the most logical thing in the history of mankind to not teach somebody outside the home. Teach your kid about sexuality and transgenderism from kindergarten to third grade. I think that's the most reasonable bill I've ever seen in my life. And you have people that are literally speaking out against it at the Grammys, into a microphone. Wanda Sykes, what are you doing? And just seeing how worldly the world is right now. Still, after 2 years of this nonsense, people still chiming into this Will Smith crap and Chris Rock. And by the way, I've seen only a few takes on this, and I agreed with only the few I heard from Tom Segura. He called into the Pat McAfee show. Super funny clip on YouTube. Go watch it. But he's being so dead serious. He's like, Will Smith and that entire establishment, they think they're just entitled to just do whatever they want. And they think that they're entitled to go smack somebody in the face because they didn't like a joke. You know, granted, it's about his wife. It's like, you still don't do that. That's not something that you do. Especially publicly on a night like that. And Will Smith was laughing at the joke before he looked at his wife, and his wife had a stank look on her face. And to be frank, she always has that stank look on her face. She's not even faithful to her man. She's making him fall off the Christian path left and right, doing some super like open relationship weird stuff, and then openly talking about it on air like it's normal, and then other people get to see this and watch it. Yeah, obviously I have a strong take on this too, but yeah, Will Smith in the wrong. Our whole culture is so worldly. That was the only thing people were talking about nonstop. People changed their Facebook profile picture to the slap. Like, you're going to live so much in the world that you're going to, people I know, like comedians, people that are human beings, you know, and you would think that you're a comedian, you should have Chris Rock's back, you know, like now people are going to think they can go on stage and smack the comedian. Do you guys realize that? What kind of ramifications that has? And people, and Will Smith being able to stay there and then getting an award after that, like gross. Like gross. Get out of this world, guys. It has nothing for you. All right? Seriously, get in the Word. It's got so much more for you. Stop with the entertainment distractions and the sloppy habits of watching bullcrap like that with your time, sitting through Pfizer commercials. I think the Grammys were sponsored by Pfizer. At least they should have been, with how much the celebrities have pushed that crap on us. Oh, how dare us if we watch that. You repent if you watch that, all right? Dead serious. Repent. I'm not talking about the clip. I'm talking about the whole thing. Like, everybody watched the clip. You know, everybody got to see what happened. Especially Will Smith. Y'all know, I have a subheading in my book called The Fresh Prince of Entebbe. Okay? Like, I watched Fresh Prince on the way to Africa. So this obviously, I watched Fresh Prince on the way to Africa, guys. So this is how it correlates. I'm allowed to have this take. All right? So why on earth are people like defending him and acting like, you know, like basically like excusing his actions in like a million ways, you know, and Whoopi Goldberg and her takes, and oh gosh, it's just even me seeing this stuff is like, I need to not see these things that are in regards to this, you know. Maybe I need to stay out of the world then if I'm over here like getting this frustrated about it. So, but I didn't watch the whole Grammys though. If you watch the whole Grammys though, that's a different level of repentance. I'm playing, guys. You know I love you. If you watch the Grammys, I still got love for you. I understand. You know, I used to watch that as a young lad myself. I mean, especially if it's entertaining like that, or you know, you see the fish from Shark Tale smack the crap out of the zebra from Madagascar. That's a funny one for sure. So, I love you guys. Thank you so much for tuning into the show. If you enjoyed this one, please share this one. I feel like this was a very real, honest, and vulnerable one with you guys. Naked Christianity at its finest. We're definitely doing some amazing things with the ministry. We got some more videos up. The Pressure of Christianity series is still on YouTube. Y'all been slacking on part 4, so go watch part 4 for me. As well as be on the lookout for the email and the social media post about the book cover, as well as the sponsorship opportunity for you if you guys would like your name in the book or anything the part of it, or if you just want to blast. You can just blast if you want. If you want to just blast the book, you know, you don't need your name in it, that's fine. But, you know, I like to add the name part just because I think it's really special to be able to show that you had a hand in the book in more ways than one, you know, and just feel honored to read it, you know, and have it at your house. And the cover's so fire, you're going to want it on your coffee table. No joke. At least that's the way I feel. But, all right, guys, much love to you guys. Thank you for supporting me. Truly appreciate you guys. We are the I Like Birds Ministry.